Let's go, baby. What the hell is this? Woo! We're having a blast, baby. I got a new intro. Daddy's got a new mic and a new intro. It's getting wild over here on Last Week This Week, baby. And the whole reason this is the intro, cowbell, baby. Who doesn't like some great cowbell? Let's go. Let's go. I'm feeling pumped. We're going to let this thing roll because we got to do it. We got to give a tribute to whoever wrote this song. Oh, break it down. Rock and roll. Rock and roll right out of a Labor Day weekend. I hope nobody worked. I know some people got to work. I hope you didn't work. Give it to me, music. Whoa! Play the drums on my skull. Let's go. Shred, baby! Oh, my face is melting on the screen. Goodness. Bring it, Brown. Bring it around, baby. Bring that loop back. Hell yeah, dude. I'm keeping this one. Didn't know how that was gonna go. I'm keeping it. Ah, sick. Sick. Great. You know, that's awesome. I'm glad we had that in there. I've been wanting something to fire me up. You know, I've been kind of doing my own thing. Just doing my which is lovely, you know. That should be its own track. But haven't gotten hit up with any record deals, so we just got to let that one go. So new intro. I got a new mic. I might be in a situation where two people could be on the podcast. And if so, I need another mic. So I went out and I bought a mic. I'm testing this one today. Y'all can let me know if it's better or worse. Just hit me up, man. Let me know. But we're kind of a couple weeks behind. I want to get into it. We're going to try to keep it short and sweet. I always say that. It never happens. But I am on a schedule today. So, biggest thing that went down, man, Incubus. I've been doing some concerts and whatnot, man. And it has been quite the summer of musical joy. And so, not this past weekend, because we're a little behind now. Not this past weekend, the weekend before. I said it in the last podcast. We were doing some Incubus. And we did some Incubus. I said it in the last podcast that I'd be camping out in the van. I didn't get the chance to camp out in the van. I wanted to. We just didn't get there, which is totally fine. Had a great time anyway. But we hit up some Incubus with Sublime. Sublime with Rome. And I wish I would have, first of all, great vibes, man. What a great way to, open up a show and just set the tone with just these groovy, cool, chill-ass jam band kind of vibes. That's my thing. I like going to a live concert. I like seeing the jam band side of things. I want the behind-the-scenes stuff, the things you don't get on the actual album. Right? I want the juicy juice. Let's get that. Give me the in-between stuff. Let's flow from one song to the next. Let's do a little solo here, a little riffy-raffy here, you know? And so it was a great vibe, but I knew I was going to this concert. I knew that Sublime with Rome was going to be part of the show. And just life came around, took over a little bit, and I didn't get a chance to study up. You know, I didn't get a chance to like really listen into uh, any of like the tracks. Honestly, I didn't listen to either band, Sublime or Incubus. I didn't, but I like to do that. I like to like gear up before a concert, you know, especially with things that haven't been around for a while. Like, okay, yeah, I remember this track. You know, I remember this song. Blah, I remember this part. Blah 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 blah. That way, when I'm there, man, I can just get into it. I can just sing and dance, and I'm just, you know, in my own zone and just really enjoying the music. And I didn't do that. But my buddy next to me was ripping every word. He was all about it, man. It just bring it back good memories. I could just tell that he was just having a hell of a time, man. And he was loving it. So I was happy for him. Should have studied up on some Sublime. But Incubus, it's like I didn't have, like everything just came back to me. So I listened to Incubus when I was back in college and like, man, 2009, 10, 11. Like those were like my big Incubus days. And right around the time where I think they came out with like their quote unquote newer album, but I think 2011 was like their latest release. Um, but I was like more into all the stuff before that. And it's everything, man. Everything hit me, dude. It was phenomenal. All the words just came coming back to songs that I haven't listened to in years, and you know, just that was really cool. It was definitely a bucket list. Both of those concerts this summer, the Chili Peppers with John Frusciante and Incubus, both of those were big bucket list items for me. I want to check those out, dude, because who knows how much longer these people are going to be rocking together, man. Chili Peppers look like they're going to be rocking together for a while. They had a new album released earlier this year, and then they got one coming up in October. Like, Chili Peppers are still on it, and still creating music and still being funky, man. Uh, but, you know, who knows about Incubus or who knows about Chili Peppers, dude? Like, John Frusciante been away for years. Who knows if he's going to step out again? So, total bucket list items for me. And so awesome. They played almost every song that I was wanting them to play. And I was just in my zone through the whole time. I will say that between the two, I think Chili Peppers was the better show. Chili Peppers was the better. There was like more energy going on. It was also at like SoFi, so like the lights and like the whole production quality, whole production quality of it was insane. And Incubus was out at, oh man, it was in Irvine, some amphitheater, five point amphitheater. And so Incubus was out there. And so you're at an outdoor amphitheater. You don't necessarily have the resources. Also, Brandon Boyd, the lead singer of it, I think that's his name, the lead singer of Incubus, like sprained his foot or hurt his foot. So he was kind of on a stool for most of the show, which kudos to him for, dude, getting out there and getting it done. You know, kudos for him. He's on a tour. So, hell, man, you're just rolling around with a damn near broken foot and still rocking on. I appreciate you, homie. Thank you, because I've been looking forward to seeing that. And so that was sick, dude. But speaking of it being in like an amphitheater, I totally forgot. And it was Orange County, right? So L.A. County, like city of L.A. with, or no, no, what is it, Inglewood? It's Inglewood, but it's still L.A. for SoFi is what I'm saying. The security in going through that, dude, you had to pretty much just drop trow, bend over, cough, and have a full search done on you before you could go into SoFi. Down in Orange County, man, where COVID doesn't exist and all is right in the world, there it was there was, you just walk in. It was like a metal pole with like a 1990s beeper that was on there. I was like, I don't even know if they're like, this is a real metal detector as we go in. No one's patting you down. They're barely checking bags. It was just like a free-for-all. Like, whatever you're bringing, whatever state that you're in, like state of mind, state of whatever, however you are and whatever you want to bring, just come on in, man. It might as well be someone's backyard. And we're just having a rowdy-ass time. There's no telling what people could have brought in there. I mean, like maybe the metal detector was going off, but I don't think so because like people were wearing belts. Like, you usually have to take off your belt, take off your shoes or whatever. It's like an airport security almost. Not in Orange County, dude. Hey, come on down, bring whatever. That's their motto. No rules even to get in. And then with the seats and just the flow of things, there were no rules anywhere. And it was like it was kind of terrifying, but almost freeing at the same time. I was going to say freedoming. My words aren't there today. It was freeing at the same time. It was just like, whoa, we really are just kind of doing our own thing. No one's up our ass about whatever, and we're just out here trying to have a good time. That's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. But with the seating we got in there, and first of all, we were like the only two in the row. And then people started to fill in on like the ends. But at some point, like, concert gets going and nobody has a seat anywhere, man. Well, it's just like one big seat. The whole thing is the pit. You know, no one's paying attention to their seats or anything like that. They're just flowing with it, dude. No rules at all. Especially, I felt like, so at some point we had to go to the bathroom, right? You've got to leave the concert. Like you gotta go, man. And I wanted to go between Sublime and Incubus. Great time to do it. No. Terrible time to do it. I knew that a lot of people would try to be going, but the setup that they had, there's like one restroom. And you just see, like, if you've ever watched any kind of Animal Planet or Discovery Channel, where there is any group of smaller species, right? Like a school of fish or a bunch of ants or anything where you have an animal that's like in a very large kind of herd or school or whatever you want to call it. And you see one of those and it looks organized, but there's also chaos. That was the fucking bathroom, dude. The bathroom was a war zone. It is just people flooding in to this tiny ass window, like doorway, and just flooding in, and then it separates. You can go right or left, but holy fuck, there's no organization or order to it at all. So you are just being shoved. You are just going with the flow into all these dudes trying to rock a piss before Incubus gets up. And you're trying to look and like, there's urinals over here, but they don't look like urinals. It's just like a wall that people are peeing on. And then, you've got the individual shitters around and everything. Like, it was a large place to go. Yeah, I haven't really seen anything like that. But just absolutely chaos. Just people stumbling around. Because you could have gotten there at like 5 o'clock. I think the doors were at 5:30. And then the opener went on at 7 or 7:30. So some people, because there's you can play bags out there in a lawn. It's like a big open lawn. Play some bags. They had food trucks. They had vendors out there. So games, all kinds of stuff. People were wasted before even like the opening act. And so you got those people that have been here for hours and hours at this point, and everybody else who's amped up, doing whatever kind of drugs, whatever kind of alcohols. And it's just like, just getting pushed around and just like hoping to find a place to pee. That's all I wanted, just getting flung everywhere, dude. Bouncing off of people, bouncing off the walls, finally find a spot, do my business, wash my hands, and now there's the other thing of trying to find my buddy and trying to find the seats. Because when we showed up, it was daylight. And by the time that the concert, and by the time we left the seats, so we show up, we figure out where everything's at, it's daylight, get in there, get settled. Now it's dark, and we're going out to the bathroom. So the whole place looks like a completely different venue than whenever we came in. So getting out of that cluster, trying to find my buddy and get back to the seats were going to be an issue. Make my way out like sardines, man, just like a fish swimming past everybody else, getting flopped out on the shore. Buddy comes over, grabs me. Okay, good. Check. That was the first thing, man. Buddy system for life. And we go over and like, let's get a couple more, drinks before we head back to the seat. That was a fucking process. Goodness, man. You'd think that like the credit card machines that they were using looked like a phone, but it wasn't their phone. But it would take forever to get a swipe, and they weren't accepting like $100 bills because I mean, drinks are like $10 a pop. But they weren't accepting, and it was just like, so they couldn't really do cash, but the card machine took forever. So now we're just sitting there, standing around, and the line's not moving at all. I'm thinking Incubus is going to get up any second. And all I want is Tiffany to hurry up in front of me. She's hammered. She's trying to have a full-on conversation before she even orders. Then she orders, gets her drinks, turns around, starts walking out, and then turns around again to go back to the counter right in front of me. No, Tiffany, you had your chance. It's time. Get out of my way. I need to get a couple drinks so I can go back and enjoy the concert. You're done. I only drank water because we had to drive back. But I'm pretty sure I still spent like $50 because there wasn't any like free water out there. No, it was like all canned water. So $50 on that. What a fiasco, man. So getting out of that war zone, just swimming around through all these people trying to, get a drink and get back. Incredibly stressful. Nighttime, the rows aren't lit up. You don't really know where you're at. You just have an idea. You're double fisting, and they're just standing on the edge of the aisle looking like an idiot. Is my friend over here? Where's my seat? I just want to get back so I can enjoy the concert. Somebody help me. Finally make it back. Enjoy the concert, man. It was dope. It was dope. They played everything. And my buddy and I were kind of in opposite positions. So when Sublime was on, dude was jamming. He was, spitting every word, all that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, I remember this melody, sing a little word or two. Down at the pawn shop. Down at the pawn shop. Like one of those. But couldn't really get all into it. And then it like flipped. And for him, so it was like one of those concerts where he fell in love with the band after the show, which is still really cool. Bringing people to Incubus, right? Gotta love that. So we had a good time, man. It was absolute chaos, but it was on the bucket list. Loved it. Got out of there so easily. If you ever go to 5 Point Amphitheater and you don't want to mess with all the parking that's right there, you can actually go to the metro station across the street, and there's a bridge that'll carry over the train tracks. That's right. Clickety-clack, baby. That'll get you over the train tracks, and there's a parking garage over there, and it's free. So if you ever go down there, go to the metro station, park there, and walk on over. Pro tip. It's next to the Uber and Lyft pickup. Unless they decide to change where all that is, because it is like an open field, and they can do all that. But the metro station's a good spot. But we made it out, man. Cool stuff. Summer's kind of coming down. It's winding down to an end. I got my brother coming out here in September, and then that's kind of the last big hurrah. So kind of coming down and off of it, man. But it's been a good summer. And then this past weekend we played some more golf, man. I'm good for like one round of golf a month, and I'm cool with it. I love it. But I broke my 3-wood on a clean hit. I don't know how that happened. And then we were trying to get out there because it was pitch black, and we were trying to leave and hit a fucking tree going full speed. And both of us got thrown from the golf cart. There's always something, man. I'm looking at my phone on the app because we got an app called Swing U, and I'm putting in all the scores. So I'm looking down at my phone. Then all of a sudden, fuh! Next thing I know, I'm on the ground. I look over, my buddy's on the ground, and all I hear is tss coming off the golf cart. I'm not a golf cart expert, but I'm like, oh, God, is there some kind of fluid that's leaking? Is there, like, hydraulic fluid or battery acid coming out of this thing? Because we rocked this tree. The thing was, this tree was like the size of my, maybe not even the size of my leg. Like this tree, I could grab it pretty nicely. Maybe like if I grab it half, I could get halfway around it, maybe 3/4 around it with my hand. Not a big tree, but it just wedged right between the tire and the front bumper. And we just came to a halt, man. I look over, I go, you good, dude? And he's like, ooh, because he ate all the steering wheel. He was driving. So he just ate steering wheel and popped out. He was like, oh, let's get out of here. So we're just disregarding our health and just trying to get the hell out of that place. The thing was, we were cruising. We were right there. We could see the clubhouse, man. It is right there. We were so close. Turns out the sound that was going on was from the tire. We popped the hell out of that tire. So good thing we didn't have to put our names down for anything. We just returned that cart and went on our merry way. Got out of there, man, just in time. So yeah, that's what's going on, man. That's it. Short and simple, man. Coming up, dude, it's fantasy football season, and I enjoy me some fantasy football. I'm not going to say I'm a big fantasy football guy. I do have 5 leagues that I'm in this year, which is kind of ridiculous. 3 is a lot for me, so to go to 5, it's a lot to manage, man. It's a lot to manage. But since I'm doing so much of it, I'm actually going to start a fantasy football podcast. That way I don't bog everything down on here, because I know I'm going to want to talk about fantasy football, but I don't want to blend those two worlds. So if you're looking, if you're like, hey, Clayton, you know what? I do like fantasy football. Then check out this new podcast. I'm going to try to get it launched this week, trying to launch it on Thursday. And it's going to be called Extremely Average Fantasy Football, because that's what it is, man. I'm not an expert. Not trying to be an expert. I'm just going to be talking about my team, my decisions that I'm making, the waiver wire, who I'm picking up, who I'm dropping, breaking down my opponent that's coming up, who they're playing, maybe why they chose the players that they're playing, why I choose the players that I'm starting. Maybe talk about the games, the matchups coming up. But it's just for the average Joe, man. Just for the average Joe, and it'll give a chance for, if people want to send in their rosters, have me just break them down, and more of an entertainment thing than anything. Not for knowledge. Don't follow me for fantasy football advice. That's not it. But if you want to see an extremely average person try to play fantasy football, then that's your spot, man. So coming Thursday, we got extremely average fantasy football coming your way, man. Coming your way. And I think we actually might have, do I even have another rock and roll, man? I might have another rock and roll thing going on over here right now, but I don't even know how to play it. How do I even do it? Talk about your technical difficulties. I have no idea what I'm doing, dude. I have no idea what the hell I am doing. But let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here with this track. Oh, God, this is terrible. Holy hell. Holy hell, send me home. Please. Outro's not going. If it is going, I can't hear it. Who knows what's going on with this thing, man? You might be hearing it. You might not. Nobody knows. What kind of podcast is this? I'll try to figure that out next time, guys. Appreciate y'all listening. Find me on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TikTok. Last week, this week podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. It only takes a second. You know I'm not consistent. Subscribing is key. You have to hit that little bell so you know when I release an episode. Because who knows, man? Who knows when we'll be back on Last Week, This Week with your boy Clayton Hill. All right, guys. Tune in to Fantasy Football Podcast if you're about it. And if not, I'll see you next time.